Welcome, everybody, to the Sports Plus Life episode number 21. So, Sports Plus Life episode number 21, the Roger Clemens, if you're from Colorado, the Peter Forsberg episode, Neon Deion Sanders episode, and of course, the big fundamental Tim Duncan episode of the Sports Plus Live podcast. I am Edgar, Mr. A.K. Rodriguez, and today, usually I have like a script. I usually not a script, but like just bullets of what I want to talk about. Then the rest just comes off the dome. Um, Definitely kind of no surprise as to what we're going to talk about today, and that being Kobe Bryant, but not just Kobe Bryant, just life in general. For those of you who don't know, obviously everyone knows at this point. Kobe Bryant passed away along with his daughter and 7 other people in a helicopter accident in Calabasas, California on Sunday, January 26th, I believe is what it was, 26th. And, I've spent the last 48 hours just kind of in a slump since then. I did put out a YouTube video since then. Kind of my raw reaction of when I found out about the whole accident. Now, this was literally minutes because I was editing another video that I don't even know what's going to come out now, but I was just editing a different video, and then my brother texted me. He said, "Rest in peace, Kobe." And I was like, what is he talking about? What are you talking about? Like Kobe Jones, a soccer player, dreadlocks. You guys remember him? He spelt it wrong. And I was like, what? I was like, nah, you're kidding. I was like, nah. He's like, yeah. Sure enough, I go, and it's just being reported all over the place. And I was just, I was in initial shock, just like everyone else. I can't believe it. I thought it was just Kobe, someone else, Kobe and the pilot, I don't know how big these helicopters are. I thought it was just Kobe and the pilot. And whoever, 2 people. I don't know if there's a co-pilot. There's Kobe and 2 other people. And I, I was just in shock. So I was recording and just turned the camera on and just talk briefly about Kobe Bryant. And, how life can just be taken away from you. That was before I found out his daughter was on the plane too, amongst 2 other families, I believe. Maybe I don't remember exactly. But that was before I found out his daughter was on there, and that just hit hard. I think that right there is what put me in a slump. Was seeing that, I don't know, you almost were helpless. I couldn't imagine being him at that moment, or anybody in that plane at that moment. But having your kid with you, and then it just, I can imagine. I don't have a kid myself, and I have a niece who is treated like my kid. Although I know my role as an uncle, I'm the one who spoils her. That's my role as an uncle. But she's the only kid in our family, and I just can't imagine something like that happening, especially under under my care. That it just messed me up. It took me 48 hours to even kind of put a smile on my face. I mean, I did The only thing that did put a smile on my face was watching the Royal Rumble, WWE Royal Rumble on Sunday night, and I saw Edge come back, and it was great. It put a smile on my face. I was a kid again. Everything went away, and it was great. It was good because it was very inspiring as well. Watching Edge come back, because we, if you don't know, I mean, this is that feeling I had for at least 3-4 hours of watching wrestling. It just it was a great distraction at the time. It's when I put myself there, and when I was sitting there, and I was like, it was still very mixed emotions. And I've said this before. I watched on the YouTube video that I put out, which I'll link at the bottom if you guys want to take a look at it. It was I don't remember what I said, but I can't. I just lost my train of thought. One of the reasons why I started the podcast was the reason why I call it Sports Plus Life. I don't even know if this is just the way I was going. This is the direction I was going, but I'm going there anyways. Sports Plus Life is sports will get you through some things that, for me anyways, will get you through some things that not a lot of other stuff can. People want to drink to numb the pain. People want to do drugs to numb the pain. I'd rather watch sports. I would. Bowling is on. That's a good distraction. Golf, hockey. Of course, basketball. Basketball will be pretty hard to watch. It's already pretty hard to watch for me for whatever reasons. But and Kobe Bryant's probably that reason. The game really hasn't been the same since he left. And those are just facts. I mean, straight facts. I was talking about this, I think maybe on the last podcast. I have to bring it up and check it out. But there was a clip of Steph Curry being guarded by Kobe Bryant. And Kobe Bryant is all over him. Like white on rice, like I am on tamales, like all over him. And there was probably about 3 or 4 fouls, there in general in that guard. And Steph Curry just put a 3 up in Kobe's face and drained it. And that's when, the caption said that's when Steph Curry got Kobe Bryant's respect. And that was like 5 years ago. And it's just crazy to think how the game has changed since then, since Kobe's left. But we could talk about, just Kobe Bryant in general. Kobe Bryant as a basketball player. I mean, the accolades are there. 5 championships, 2 Olympic medals, 18-time All-Star, multiple defense player of the year, scoring champion. I mean, also slam dunk contest winner. By the way, and it's kind of like probably not the best time to bring it up, but I always thought the reason why LeBron James won't ever crack the top 2 in my top 2 was because he never even attempted to do the slam dunk contest. He never attempted to do it. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan have, and that's why they're the best ever. Amongst other reasons why they're the best ever, but off topic. Just wanted to bring that up. Still wanted to get a little dig in. But Kobe Bryant is a basketball player, amazing. I mean, everything speaks for itself. His gameplay, scoring 81 points against the Toronto Raptors, scoring 60 points in his last game before retirement. I think I said 61 points in the YouTube video. 60 points is what it was. I think it was against the Knicks. And scoring, dropping 65 on Portland. I mean, even those last two championships that were won without Shaq, by the way. It just goes to show how how good of a player Kobe is. And that will always be remembered, no matter what. No matter what. I mean, that's always going to be in the back of people's minds. On everyone. I mean, even if you don't watch sports, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Messi, Ronaldo, Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, and on, Serena Williams. You know who those people are, even if you don't watch sports. And Kobe Bryant is the upper echelon, like the 1%, 0.05% of athletes that will always be recognized for just his grit, just his work ethic. There's that video out, of him. He's all, in practice, and he's just walking out of practice. You guys are soft like Charmin. I ain't gonna play with you guys. You guys are soft. And when I first saw that, this was a long time ago. I was like, dude, what's he doing? Like, why isn't he leading by example? And he was. He was like, why waste my time playing with you guys? Practicing with you guys if you guys are gonna give it your best. That's the type of work ethic he had. He had so many. After those 3 championships, he could have been like, "Yeah, I'm done." He could have been like, "I don't need to win more." But he kept winning. He did it 2 more times. They had a 3-peat and then a back-to-back. I think is what it was. 2008 and 9 or 9 and 10. I can't remember. It's Kobe will go down as one of will go down as the best ever. But it's still kind of hard to believe that he's gone. It's very hard to believe that his life was taken away so quickly. Not only his, but everyone else that was involved in that helicopter. His daughter, of course. You got to... It's beyond sports sometimes. It's just beyond sports. In this case, sports can give you a Band-Aid. It'll give you a Band-Aid for a little bit. It's still gonna sting. And I've said, I've never been a huge Kobe guy. I think that's what I was trying to say earlier. I've never been a huge Kobe guy. I've never sat there and been like, "Oh, Kobe's my favorite player." Michael Jordan has always been my favorite player. I've always been a Nuggets fan. But I've always respected Kobe. You had to. You had no choice but to respect Kobe Bryant. Anyone really respected him. That's why do you think people go around, everyone respected him. Why do you think people go around yelling Kobe every time they shoot? Dave Chappelle started that. If you guys remember, I'll link that. If I can find that, I will link it down in the description. Oh yeah, just thinking about that episode. But that sketch. But he did, Kobe did so many things. He was so smart. Like I said, there was a work ethic. There was he studied every aspect of the game. He he had learned. I think he knew 4 different languages. I want to say it was English, Italian, Spanish, and then Serbian. Serbian? No, yeah, Serbian and French. He learned French, and I said this in the video. He learned French to talk shit to Tony Parker while they, like in the play, just in general. I mean, there's just things that people won't go out of the way to do to become better. Dude, he wanted every inch possible. And that's what it takes to be the best is first you have to get started. Second, you got to put the work in. Third, you have to do whatever it takes to be the best of the best. He was doing it. And he started at a young age, 17 years old. He was just a baby playing with grown men. And I don't know what you were doing as a 17-year-old, but I definitely wasn't honing in on my craft. I wasn't doing any of that shit. What was I doing at 17? I was in high school. I lost my virginity. It doesn't matter. But I definitely wasn't, pursuing my dreams. I definitely wasn't, for sure. He he was just different than a lot of other people. He just worked hard. Some people just have it. LeBron James has it, but he still puts in the time. LeBron James is just an athletic freak. He was just built different. 6'8", 240 pounds. Michael Jordan had the great work ethic. LeBron James has a great work ethic. It came easier to some people, but he's always worked hard. He was a military brat, I believe. His dad was in the military. I can't remember, something like that. That's why I think he was born in Italy. Then ventured back out to Philadelphia. His dad was a player. No, maybe his dad played basketball. Wasn't it? I can't remember what it was. I haven't looked into it, so I apologize. But yeah, I mean, that's why I respect Kobe because of his work ethic. I respect Kobe because of just him as an individual. He did a lot. You hear all these stories that come out. Just all the good stories of how he approached people, how he's very accessible, how he was just laser focused. I mean, I could go, on and on and on about Kobe Bryant scoring 40 points, 50 points, 60 points, 80 points. That's from Shaq does his Shaq All-Star comedy, I think is what it's called. And Ari Spears, I think, does like this Charles Barkley impression. It's funny. If I can find that, I'll link that too. And also, I time these. I mean, those guys who don't know, I time these. I time my podcasts, so there's like not over an hour, so I don't bore you for more than that. Because and I can't talk for more than an hour. That's impossible. Like, it's hard for me to sit here and talk for an hour straight. But we're just gonna go with it and see how long this takes. But yeah. Just getting off topic, but Kobe Bryant will be remembered as one of the best basketball players, but also, and I think this probably means the most, be remembered as a good person and a good father. That's where sports plus life comes in. You have sports plus life. You have sports, and where this case, like I said, Kobe Bryant will have sports then life. And then there's like, he's a family man. 4 daughters, I think he had. All beautiful. I mean, if you've seen it, you could look up pictures of him. All beautiful. Just a beautiful family. And that's what kind of gets me. I think that's what got me the most. I'm older now, so it's like have a different perspective of life. There's different goals, different narratives. Like there's different agendas. He had it, man. He had it all, and it's and he was still very humble dude. Still had that work ethic even after the fact. Was in dad mode. There's a different work ethic when you're in dad mode. I would assume I'm not a father, like I said. Um, I like even myself, like hanging out with my niece. Like I'm like, holy crap! There's people who do this 24/7. I have respect for people who are just like straight up parents, like 24/7, like single moms. Sometimes it can be, you sit there and you're like, oh, I can see why it's rewarding. I could definitely see it. And Kobe was seeing that with his daughters. They were all, especially Gigi, who was the one who passed away in the plane with him. I mean, she was a baller, man. She was balling. She just had it in her, obviously, because, I mean, your dad's Kobe. You're going to have that in, you have that in your blood. And it was pretty cool to see. I mean, even before all this, I mean, you see it. He would, take her out to these camps, coach her basketball team. She was balling. She was a baller. She could shoot. She had the Mamba mentality. Mamba mentality runs in her blood. And it was cool to see. I mean, it was cool to watch because, like I said, you get older, you start to see these type of things. You start to notice different things other than just Kobe Bryant. You start seeing Kobe Bryant as a father. You start seeing Kobe Bryant as a person, the husband. He, yeah, I want that. Those are different goals. You get goals. Oh, those are goals. These are goals. Those are goals. That's what I wanted. Is like I've always wanted 3 kids. I've always wanted to be 6'5", 260, 70 pounds, like Brock Lesnar. That looks weird now that I look at Brock Lesnar. I'm like, I'll settle for 6'2", and I'll work on the rest. But your goals change, obviously. But that family life is something different. And that also, was a big reason why the helicopter was involved in the first place. There's a video out of him saying why he has a helicopter. And it wasn't because he had the money. It wasn't because he wanted to show out. It wasn't because he wanted to stunt, whatever, It was because he didn't want to sit in LA traffic to go back and forth, from training to home and miss a play, miss a practice, miss time with his family. The helicopter was there to cut time in his busy day to make time for him and his children and his family. And just crazy to think that that's what kind of did it, was the helicopter. And he did that because, he did that to just spend more time with his family. Like I said, your thinking changes. And I'm kind of just rambling, but it's like, life is a shitty thing sometimes. And we take it for granted. And I don't know how many times I sit there and watch people with just amazing families decide to just, fuck it up. I don't get that. Like, I don't even know if I'll have a family. Like, I don't know. I'm single AF, by the way, ladies. But then there's people out there I just see and I'm just like, dude, why do you make these choices? Why do you have to go out drinking every day, every weekend? Why are you taking Why are you doing this instead of having your kids around? Why are you like? I don't get that. I never got that. There's a lot of things I don't get, and Kobe could be out strip club. He had the money. Go back strip club. Go do this. Go do that. He wanted to be dad. That's how I think that's how I'm gonna remember him the most. Is how he was as a father. He took that Mamba mentality and brought it to father life. Just being a father. With 4 girls, by the way. 4 baby girls, beautiful baby girls. I remember when my sister told me she was pregnant, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't wait! I hope it's a boy. It's gonna be so cool. Like, we could play soccer with him. We could do this. We could do that." And then she told me she had a boy. I wasn't saying I was heartbroken, but I was a little sad. But then she was born, and my Zoe was born, and girls are amazing, man. The biggest hearts. And I've said this on the podcast before. Girls are like the most, there's just strongest species in just in the world. Unbelievable. Just strong, just compassionate, just everything. And he had 4 girls, and I definitely can see why he was smiling. I hope he knew how to fight, by the way. Hope he was he's learning how to fight. And it breaks my heart seeing that 3 of those girls are just won't have a father anymore. I don't. I've been there. I lost my dad when I was 19. It's rough. You still have a lot to learn from your father at 19, at 12, at everything. You have so much to learn, and you gotta feel. I know exactly what they're going through. They're all young. They're not 19 by any means. 19, you're a man. These are still babies. These are still girls. They don't. You just feel. You just gotta feel for him. It's very, very sad, especially Vanessa, his wife. She lost a daughter and a husband at the same time. What do you say to that? What do you say to someone who lost a piece of her, like a big, big piece of her, husband and a daughter? What do you say to somebody like that? How do you express your feeling? Like, how do you? I just don't. I don't know. You got to feel for them. And that's why life. Life is precious. And I see too many people. What I was getting at is too many people not taking all these things for granted. Even I felt that way. Like I said, I was in the hospital 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago. Just laid up, and I was like, dude, this sucks. I'm gonna lose my foot. I'm gonna lose a part of me. And I'm just like, this is it. Like, there's nothing else for me anymore. And then I just look out my window. I look at my window. I look at my door, and I see so many people who are worse off. And just, I'll be okay. I knew I'd be okay. Thank God I didn't lose a foot. Just lost a toe, blah, 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 whatever. The rest is history. You guys know my story. But what I'm getting at is that life is precious. And for you to sweat the little things it's not worth your time. Even if it's a family member. A family member sweating you, for something little, for something you said, something you did over Facebook, some funny thing you post on Facebook, they want to bash you about it. Don't talk to them. Don't waste your energy on that type of stuff. I learned that a long time ago. One of my good friends, Mo, I've talked about him on this podcast. I learned a lot from him, and I think he has this cool attitude and a positive attitude for everything. And sometimes it's annoying as shit, but sometimes it's like, I get it. And I learned that a long time ago. You just can't sweat the small stuff. Don't sweat stuff you can't control. You can't control how other people feel about you, whatever. Even if you're doing the best thing for them, you can't. I mean, if they don't like it, then just whatever. You just move on. We get lost in those little things. And then just like that, it could all be just taken away from you. So if you take anything from this podcast, anything from me moving forward or in general, Sports Plus Life is, obviously I talk a lot about sports because that's my life. That's what I love to do. That's what distracts me. That's my my happy place is sports. But being in the hospital made me realize that there's also life out there. I see so many people losing their lives, anywhere, overseas, in hospitals, to cancer. I've seen that personally, to diabetes, to everything. And we worry about, but a lot of people out there are healthy as a dog and worry about, well, this person doesn't like me, or they haven't called me back or text me back. I'm going to go cry in my room for a half hour and then post about it on social media and waste my energy when I could have spent that hour and a half working out, just doing something more productive that's going to help move on in life, right? I could have read a book. I started reading books not that long ago. They've helped me a lot. That's why I started the podcast, just reading books. There's people who have it worse out than you. If there's one particular, like I said, I've been reading books. I mean, I listen to books. I actually don't read a whole lot of them. I do remember them better when I read them. But if you listen or read a book, it'd be David Goggins' "You Can't Hurt Me," I think is what it's called. "You Can't Hurt Me Anymore." Check that out, because you think your life is shit, and just go ahead and look what this gentleman has done for his life. And when a gentleman who's taken something so negative, taking a negative upbringing and turn it into a positive and turn it into fuel to become a better man, a better person. Read that book. I think we can learn a lot from gentlemen like David Goggins. I think we pout for the wrong reasons. But like I said, if you take anything from this, just enjoy life. Enjoy everything. Just enjoy it. You don't know when it's your time to go. You don't know if you take a right, you should have taken a left, but you take a right, and that's the last right you ever take. You don't know if the text message you send is going to be the last text message you send, or the text message you receive is going to be the last text message you receive, or phone call, et cetera, et cetera. So just enjoy life. Yeah. I mean, that's all I have to say about that, really. But going back to Kobe, I mean, Kobe, like I said, basketball player, amazing. Father, amazing. Husband, amazing. There's a quote. I mean, Ellie Dunk, I think is her name. She was on ESPN earlier today or last night. And this is she had a story about how she was 8 months pregnant while Kobe walked up to her and said, "Hey, what are you having?" She said, "I'm having a girl." And she's like, "That's cool." And she was like, and he told the story about how Vanessa wanted to have another kid, try for another kid, but it might be a boy. And she was like, and he was like, "If I could have 5 more girls, I would." And she goes on to say a couple more things. And she says, "I suppose that the only source of comfort for me is knowing that he died doing what he loved the most, being a dad, being a girl dad." Which, yeah, it's cool. And, it's very obvious. I mean, I'm not repeat myself, but he was a cool dad, and he loved it, especially with all the girls. They're just gentle. They're gentle souls, gentle girls. Boys will give you heart attacks because they'll like to jump off shit and like to do flips, they like to test the waters. They like to test. They want to see if their bodies can take these type of bumps. um, but yeah, we gotta treat our women better too. I mean, just if you take, I mean, it's like I said, Kobe was, Kobe had these girls, and if you learn anything, treat your women better. These are precious people. Without women, none of us are alive. Those are Those are science facts. Don't be coming at me none of that bullshit. Ain't no such thing as storks. These women put their bodies through a lot to give us life, to give us a child. They could, to even monthly from the time they're like 9, 10 years old, they have periods, and that every month they go through women problems. It's like, just treat them better. How fucking hard is that? And it's like calling the pot, calling the kettle black. I've been there. I've been, but I just, like I said, I've grown. I've learned to treat these women better. And I'm talking in the sense of stop fucking putting your hands on them. You have especially if you have a family, you're gonna fucking sit there and you're gonna put hands on your, like, you're gonna mistreat your woman. You're gonna just leave them hanging here and there. Like, don't be a piece of shit, especially if you have a family together. Everyone's been young, but just especially when you're married. I mean, when you're married, you sign. It's different when you're married and you have those papers signed, and it's different. But I don't want to get into that. We just got to do better treating each other. Just treating everyone just better, treating each other better. There's so much negative things out there in life that you can go off of, that you can go to. There's a bunch of negative assholes that I'm not going to address today that have talked shit about Kobe. It's not about Kobe. It's not about being negative towards Kobe. There's negative people everywhere. People die all the time. I get it. Just a bunch of insensitivity that I'll probably get to at another time. But right now we are focusing on something different. Focusing on just life in general. Text that person that you have beef with. Just end that shit. Like, even if it's something over a girl, over a guy. I've seen some great friendships like perish because it's just something so small. I'm just rambling now, but yeah. Let's just do better for our kids. That's what Kobe Bryant was doing. He was doing better for his kids. Let's do better in general. Let's do better as humanity. Let's do better as people. Sons, mothers, fathers, uncles, aunts, students. Let's just be better. I mean, let's get distracted differently. Let's go work out, Have you tried working out? If you're not working out a long time, that should put you to sleep right away and forget all your problems. Fucking go eat. Life is short. Go eat. You know what I'm saying? Go eat that pescetti you want. Go eat that elote you want. Just go eat that steak. Go eat that chicken. Go eat that chocolate covered cricket. Who cares? It don't matter. Life is short. Just do what makes you happy. Just be happier. Yeah, there was a lot. I mean, there's so much I wanted to get to, but ultimately, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Ultimately, rest in peace, Gigi, and everyone else involved in that wreck. It's heartbreaking, and we got to get through life. Even eventually, we're gonna have to. A lot of us face death. It's gonna hurt. It's definitely gonna hurt. It's definitely gonna sting. It's not gonna feel good. But at some point, you got to move on from your life. At some point, you have to move on from it. basketball is going to be hard to watch for me for a while now. Especially when I go to, Pepsi Center, because I know Kobe's killed us there so many times. Knocks us out of the playoffs. Court, I think the Western Conference Finals, I think we went that far. And he just beat us up. I think that was with Chauncey Billups last year, Melo's last year. I think that was it. Yeah, man, just Kobe. Just will be remembered as Kobe. So anytime you go by a trash can, you better yell Kobe before you shoot. You better fucking bite your. When you're focused, just get that Mamba mentality to bite your jersey like this. You see that? I'm wearing my shirt. Oh, get that scale going. Next time you do anything, just learn from Kobe. If you don't know who Kobe Bryant is, go pick up his book, Mamba Mentality. I'm going to do that. I got it ordered. It's on the way. Learn. Be happy. Don't sweat the small shit. That's it. I mean, I pretty much just rambled on for I don't know how long. I don't even know. Maybe half hour or so, I think. I don't even know, but it's gonna be a short podcast. Just wanted to get in front of the mic, get in front of you guys, get in front of the camera, because this is my happy place. This is where I go to just forget about everything else for at least an hour, a day. Or an hour whenever I do this. This is where I go to forget about everything. Forget about work. Forget about, just everything. So, but yeah, I'm going to leave you with that. I will be back Friday because there's a lot going on next weekend. There's something going on. The Super Bowl is going on. The Super Bowl between the Chiefs and the 49ers will be back February 2nd. And there's something, there surely is something else that is going on. We'll see. Yeah, we'll talk about definitely the Super Bowl. Preview the Super Bowl. The matchup between the Niners and the Chiefs should be a good one. Tune in. Do me a favor. Follow me on Sports Plus Life on Instagram and Twitter. And then MRAKACO on Instagram and Twitter. And YouTube.com/Sports Plus Life to watch and then also podcasts, wherever podcasts are available. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I still haven't checked for whatever. No one said anything, but SoundCloud. I don't know if we're on SoundCloud. I got to double check that. But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in today, and then every time you've ever tuned in, all 10 of you that tune in, because I see the numbers. I seen them. So share, share everything. Subscribe, hit the little bells, whatever you need to do to notify when I post another podcast, when I post a video. So thank you guys for tuning in. Do me a favor, hug your loved ones, send that text. Text me, man. If you don't have no one to text me. If you have my number. I ain't gonna give it out right now. But message me. I just gave you my Twitter handles, my Instagram handles. Holler at me. Follow me. I don't care. Just holler at me if you need someone to talk to. I'm a good ear. I can listen very well. That's one thing God gave me is good ears. Even though He's trying to take away my eyes with the. Anyways, no need to focus on the negative. Focus on the positive. Holler at me. I love you guys. If you haven't heard it today, I love you. You have a nice butt, great hair. I will see you guys next time.